Good morning, yogis. I am going to do a half-hour yin exercise today, and hopefully it'll be something that'll be helpful to you in your home. So let's start today by doing some breathing, coming into a comfortable seated position. You can either be cross-legged in a lotus or half lotus, or you can put your legs straight out in front of you in staff posture. Feel free to use any of the tools you have, a towel, pillow. You can put it under your buttocks to move your spine slightly forward. But as we sit here and begin our breathing, we're going to concentrate first on just thinking about our breath, not trying to control it, but thinking about our breath. Oh, by the way, my yoga practice will be populated by cats, one or two who may wander in and out. So we're going to make sure our spine is straight, our chin is parallel to the floor, our gaze is straight ahead, and then just think about your breath. As you notice the breath going in and out of your nose, now we will add some control to that breath. So we're going to inhale deeply. As we inhale, we feel the air go down through the chest, and we pretend that we're inflating a beach ball, using that device simply to pull the diaphragm down and allow the chest to take in more air, the lungs to fill more deeply. Hold for a second at the top of the inhale, and then exhale, feeling the air flowing back out, pulling in the abdominal muscles, pulling the belly button to the spine in an effort to make sure that you exhale fully. Stopping for a moment at the peak of that exhale, and then inhaling again. And exhaling again. And hold, and inhale, and hold, 1, 2, 3, and exhale, and hold, 1, 2, 3. This time let's assist the breathing with our arms. We're going to inhale the arms up, up, straight, bringing your arms to your ears. Fingertips reaching toward the ceiling, gaze still straight ahead, and then exhaling down into prayer position. And again, inhaling up, hands reaching to the ceiling, arms nice and straight by your ears, and exhaling down into prayer position. And one more time, and this time let's inhale up and put our gaze on the ceiling. Put our palms flat up against the ceiling. Push and exhale down into prayer position. And in prayer position, let's just take a moment to set an intention for this short practice, perhaps to relieve some of the stress we're feeling or the isolation we may be feeling if we're stuck at home. And then we'll begin our practice. Let's start with our first yin posture as diamond. So what we're going to do is stretch our legs out. I realize you may not be able to see my feet and legs as clearly as you might like, but what I am doing is putting my legs akimbo, knees out to the side. The soles of my feet are together, and then I'm going to bring the soles of my feet in, hands on the ankles, and bring them as close to the center of my body, to the crotch, as I can make them. If that's not comfortable for you, you can lessen that pose a little and make it more as a butterfly with the knees straight out, or bring them in deeply if you'd like to do so. You can adjust this pose. Yin poses are held 3 to 5 minutes, so that will give you time to experiment on where you would like your pose to be. So we'll get the feet close together, If you want, you can put a towel or a pillow under your feet if the sides of your feet are uncomfortable on the floor. You can bring a block if you have one, or a pillow to the front so that you might be able to bring your head down onto it. Whatever you would like to do to make the pose more comfortable for yourself. So once we have our feet together and we have our feet where we would like them, close to the center of the body or further away, we're going to take a deep inhale up, straighten the spine, and we're going to exhale slowly as if we were doing a lever from the base of the spine out over the feet. You may only be exhaling a few degrees over those feet, or you may get all the way down. But first, lever the spine, and then when you get to your optimal position, release the head and neck, release the hands, and allow the body just to fall down onto the mat. If you want to work your fingers out a little bit onto the rug in front of you, bring the head down a little further, whatever you would like to do to be more comfortable. I'm going to speak to you to give you alternatives to this, so you're not watching me so much as you are listening. In other words, allow your head to come down, perhaps onto that block or pillow on your lap. Allow your hands to come out. Allow them to fall where they're comfortable. If you want to hold on to your feet in this posture, in order to lever your back down a little closer to the floor, you can do that as well. Once you reach that optimal pose for yourself, bring it to the edge of that pose. Back up a little bit if that's too much for you. Reach your edge, and then we're going to maintain the pose. Breathe into it. Feel the stretch in the muscles of the back, not a strain, but a stretch. If it's a strain, come up a little bit. Bending over the pose deeply in this manner. And breathing into it. Sending the breath to the upper thighs. Sending the breath to the muscles in the lower back. Allowing the stretch, allowing the release. And as you stay in that posture, and we're going to stay in that posture for about 2.5 more minutes, as we remain in that posture, we're going to clear our minds of other thoughts, of anything that may be bothering us today, and think only of the pose, allowing the muscles to relax, to stretch out further, the body to come down closer to the earth in the posture. Simply relax. Continue your breathing. Always be mindful of the breath. Make sure you are inhaling and exhaling deeply, even in this pose where the breath is a little constrained. Keep the breath moving. Keep your mind clear. One thing that Yen does for you is it is a small meditation with each of the postures, so that you're concentrating only on your stretching, only on your posture, and not on anything else that may be bothering you or be on your mind at the moment. So keep the breath flowing. Stay calm and relaxed in the pose. Adjust the edge as you need to, deeper or less deep. Try to achieve that inner stillness and peacefulness that comes with remaining in the posture and clearing your mind. Now let's slowly come out of this posture. So let's begin in this manner. Walk the hands back or move the hands back to the ankles. Once your hands are there, allow your spine to straighten gradually and slowly, vertebra by vertebra, until your spine is again upright. Allow your right leg to come out straight. Keep the left tucked up close to the body. Straighten the leg, flex the foot. Release the left leg out straight. Again, straighten the leg, flex the foot. Wiggle the legs up and down, bend the knees gently, as if you were bicycling in a seated position. And release from that posture. Let's take a deep breath. Oops, sorry, cat in front of the camera. Deep breath up. Hands up to the ceiling. Spine is now straight. Hands down into prayer position. And release. Let's get back into lotus position and just do a few neck and spine releases. So we're just going to do a few things that will help us to get some relaxation through the face and the neck and the shoulders. Starting with an easy shoulder shrug up and straight down and up and straight down. And once more, up and down. And this time up and around to the back. Up and around to the back. And one more time, up and around to the back. Now let's do a twist to the right. So we'll take our right hand and bring it out and around, placing it on the floor behind us next to the buttock. Okay, your weight is not on that hand. That hand can be lifted. We're just using it as a tripod. Okay, the right hand comes around and grasps the outside of the right thigh. Left hand rather, grasps the outside of the right thigh, and our gaze turns out over our right shoulder. On each inhale, try to turn just a little bit more. Your spine is upright, your hand is relaxed, you're not leaning back into it. And release to the front and to the other side. Left hand goes out and around to the floor behind the left buttock. Right hand goes out and grasps the outside of the left thigh, and your body twists over the left shoulder. Gaze is out over the left shoulder. And on each inhale, try to twist just a little bit more. Spine is upright. Don't fall back onto your hand. Hand can be lifted off the mat at any time without disturbing your pose. And relax. Let's cross our hands on opposite knees. Pull the spine up straight and just bend slowly over that twisted arm. Uncross and put the opposite arm on top, whichever one was not on top last time, and fold again over it. And inhale up. Let's move to seated cat and cow. So hands are gently on the knees. And we're going to, and I'll move my posture so you can see my back in this position. We're going to inhale up very straight, bringing the spine up straight, the head up straight. Almost allowing the back to come out just a little bit, the pelvis to come out, and a hollow to be in your lower back. And then exhale, pulling the abdominal muscles in, allowing the back to bow into cat. And on your inhale, at your own pace, inhale up, straighten the spine, almost bring it into a little concavity here at the lower back. Maybe lift the chin a little to assist that curve in the spine. And exhaling again, bowing the back. A good exercise to really soothe the spine when you're having problems with your back. And at your pace, one more. And come again into a neutral seated position. Do a few more exercises for neck and spine. Just simple twisting of the neck to the right shoulder. Hold, breathe, to the center, to the left shoulder. Hold, breathe, to the center, up, center, down, center, and one more to right and left. Right, hold, breath is following, center, left, center. This time, let's go ahead and clasp our hands behind our neck and bring our elbows together and then lift them up and out, really working the shoulders, up and out, elbows together again, up and out, one more time. And one last stretch, hands out to the side. Okay, I'm flexing my hand, so I'm going to have it straight out to the side, and I'm simply going to push my arms out to the side walls as hard as I can. Hands flexed. Feeling it in the upper arm. And relaxed in together. Let's move into another yin pose. This time we'll do a simple staff pose and a bending over the legs. So we're going to put our feet out, our legs out straight, and flex our feet deeply. A deep inhale up, and then exhaling straight down and over your feet. Once you have reached your maximum extension forward, then allow the hands and the head to fall. Allow them to fall wherever they will. If you would like a block on your knees to put your head onto, or a pillow, anything that would be helpful to you in this pose, go ahead and use it. And come down as deeply as you would like in this pose. Once again, for yin, finding your edge here, excuse me, cat camera blocking again. Finding your edge, and then breathing into and holding that edge wherever you are, deepening it, lessening it. Throughout the pose, you can change the degree of that pose at any time to make yourself more comfortable. We don't want to strain. We don't want anything that is too difficult for you. Once you reach that edge, hold the posture. Once again, 3 minutes in this pose. And during that time of holding the posture, concentrate and think only about your breath, about your breathing, not about anything else. bringing yourself into that state of a semi-meditation during that pose. And hold. We'll notice in this pose, if you have challenged yourself to get into it deeply, you're feeling a little bit of strain or stretch in the back of the thighs. If that becomes too intense, allow yourself to come up a little bit to release it. Now slowly bring your consciousness back to the present. Allow your hands to walk backward toward your hips and your spine to straighten back up again. You can release from this posture by bending the knees, placing the hands flat on the floor, and just kind of windshield washing the legs back and forth to roll out that straight and stretching in the hip. Yeah. Okay, and nice and released. Let's move from this to a shoulder releasing posture that many of the students find very helpful. So we're going to come onto hands and knees. We're going to have our hands directly below our shoulders. Fingers are spread, thumb is a little closer in. Knees are directly under the hips. And once we have gained that posture, backs of the feet are flat on the floor. Gaze is down at the mat. And once you've achieved that posture, a nice flat back, we're going to raise the right arm up, all the way up to the sky. Follow it with your gaze, and then throw it down and under the left arm. Now I'm going to show you, and then I'm going to come back to the camera so you can hear me. So you come all the way down. If you're doing this right, your shoulder and your ear, your right ear, is now down on the mat. Your left hand and your right shoulder are supporting the body. Stay in that posture. Remain there. And we'll give it a minute for that posture, and then we're going to add a variation to that. And I'm going to turn so that you can see me from this side. As a variation, Let's walk the left fingers to the top of our mat. So we're straightening the left arm all the way to the top of the mat. Right arm is still underneath the body. Straighten that arm out. Open the shoulder and the body just a little bit to this side of the room. Breathe into the pose. And now let's add another variation to that. Raise your left arm up to the sky, bend the elbow back, and bring that left arm behind your body, snaking around your waist and looking for the top of your right thigh. Whether you make it all the way over that thigh or not is not important. Oops, cat obstacle again. Move it along, Cleo. Thank you. And cranking that left shoulder back just a little bit toward the ceiling to open the body to the side of the room. Now to come out of this posture, let's bring that left arm all the way up, stretch it up to the ceiling. Very nice. Bring it down to the mat in front of the right arm. Back down, give yourself a solid foundation. Slowly rise up. Bring the right arm up, out, up to the top of the room again, and down to the mat. Shake it out a little bit. Maybe come up into down dog. Walk it out. And back down to the mat. And let's do this on the other side. Cleo, could you move along, please? Okay, this time we're going to bring the left arm all the way up. Our gaze follows it to the ceiling and down and under. Bringing that left shoulder and left ear to the mat. Again, backs of the feet are on the floor. You're resting on that left shoulder and left ear. If that's uncomfortable and you need a towel or a pillow underneath your ear, drag one over to help you. Let's remain in that posture. And again, I'm going to turn so that I am not facing you the wrong way. Excuse me, Cleo, please move. And this time, let's take the right arm, stretch it up to the top of the mat. Your right arm is just going to be right over your right ear. Stretching that arm up as far as you can make your fingers reach. Holding that nice stretch for a moment. Then bringing the right arm up, bending the elbow, and bringing it back behind your back. This movement is as if you were trying to make a deep man's bow toward the front of the room. Now crank that elbow back a little bit and open this body to the side of the room. Arm up all the way, gaze up following it. And then down to the mat in front of the left arm. Push on that right hand. Allow your body to come up. Release the left arm. Gaze follows the left arm all the way up. And then back down to the mat. And again, let's do a little bit of a release, turning our toes under and pushing up and back. Maybe walking the dog. Releasing the thighs a little at this point, and then back down to the hands and knees, and a little cat and cow to release this pose. Inhaling up into cow, looking forward, allowing the spine to drop right here, and exhaling into cat, really bowing the back, trying to engage the shoulders in this as well, bringing them up, arching the back. And inhaling again into cow, and then new continuing this for 3 at your own pace. And then let's come back around to a seated posture. We'll end this session for this morning. Thank you for joining me. I hope you are all doing well in your homes or at work, whatever you are needing to do, and everyone be safe